Doing it's alive! Ooh, this is COFOH Live Undead, and I am here with Wolf Love Films with Lindsay and Michael. How are you guys?
We're so good.
Excellent, excellent. Looks like my bumper decided to fail on me, so we're going right into this. Oh, technical wonders. You suck.
Who needs a bumper?
No, we don't need no bumpers. We've got community. We've got friends on here. All right. Guys, thanks for coming on the show. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Excellent.
Awesome. How are you?
Excellent. Excellent. So for everybody out there, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and how you got into filmmaking.
Yes. All right. You want to hit your side first?
Well, so for me, I was born and raised in Littleton, Colorado. I grew up out here. I studied animation at Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design. And then And then
I'm from there.
And went to USC and decided to get my master's in film production for some crazy reason. And that's where I met her. And she employed me. I was very lucky to work on her thesis film. And that's how we started. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was born and raised in San Francisco, made my way down to LA for film school. And met this guy. We both got real fed up with LA at a certain point, and he always wanted to make his way back here. And despite being a hardcore Californian, he somehow talked me into it. So here we are. But I got into filmmaking. I was in the arts already, but then I figured out through a English class that was films of David Lynch how much I love film and auteurs, and I became a hardcore David Lynch fan, and that's pretty much how I made my way into filmmaking.
Oh my gosh, that's what wonderful inspiration, right? David Lynch.
Yeah.
Yes. The weirdest, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I would have to say, or I have to ask, what would be your go-to David Lynch? Is it like Eraserhead or Blue Velvet or?
My favorite is Lost Highway. I also love Drive, and Blue Velvet is one that I have to revisit quite often as well. All of his. And I actually also own Eraserhead, but Lost Highway is the tippy top for me personally.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I really enjoy that one as well. Wow. So, okay. So, Michael, you did art school out here. I'm a graduate of Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design as well. So, ancient, long time ago, the sculpting department in 2000. I love that we got to use chainsaws and set things on fire. So,
RipCat was great, man. That's still my favorite, college experience, man. Just a tiny ass little art school, a little bit underground. Like you could you get a little wild there and explore some stuff. It was a great place to be.
Nice. That's so cool. So with animation, obviously, were you doing digital animation? I should ask.
Yeah, I was on the 3D animation side of things. I knew when I went to that school that I eventually wanted to end up in be a filmmaker. And I was kind of trying to follow in the footsteps of guys like Kevin Smith and Robert Rodriguez and Guillermo del Toro. And I went to Rocky Mountain College mostly, not so much because I thought I was going to be a 3D animator, but I liked the the way the school was presented to me as a place to develop your artistic vision, develop your storytelling capabilities, that sort of thing. So I was never the best 3D animator, but I definitely picked up some skills that are, helping us out with stuff, obviously. And it was fun. It was a great place to kind of learn and find myself, find my voice kind of as an artist. So.
Wow, that's cool. Now, tell us about how you guys were working together. You started out working on Lindsay's thesis, but was there like a collaboration, after that brought you out to Colorado or anything? Or?
Well, I'd say we started. Well, he had his own project when we first met, so it's like he was working on mine, I was working on his. But then it wasn't until 2015 when we finally collaborated on our first narrative work together. And it took us a while to get that one done, but it turned out pretty cool.
It was a fun one.
And we worked all along, we always work really well together. And Michael just hates Los Angeles so much. I never thought I would have left the state of California, but this dude was just like, gotta get out of here. I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And he brought me to Colorado and to Denver enough times where I started to realize like how cool Denver was. So it wasn't necessarily a project that brought us out here. It was sort of in spite of, I was like, we can move to Colorado, but only if we're not giving up on, because in my mind, everyone in LA says you cannot be a filmmaker unless you live in LA. And we're challenging that. And anytime you tell your friends, I'm going to go do filmmaking somewhere else, they will be like, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? Why are you doing this? Why are you torpedoing your career? But us, it made more sense because we want to be indie filmmakers. And so if you're not trying to plug into the machine, it really doesn't matter where you are. And if your stories are good, you'll be hearing from LA eventually,
Yeah. Nice. I'd imagine, LA, much bigger pond. Everybody's kind of, fighting for all the same resources and stuff. Colorado, we were talking about, before we went live, just, what the film scene is out here. A lot of amazing talent, but it seems to be a little bit more displaced.
Yeah. And I think we've known people who work in Austin, for instance, and the difference between the Austin film community versus LA. And I remember talking to cinematographers who'd be like, oh, working in Austin sucks because everyone just takes all their friends from film to film. And it's such a tight little community that it's hard for anyone to go get work out there, and it sucks. And, I'm so great. They don't appreciate it. And we were just always like, well, that's kind of
sounds
awesome. Work with, build that connection, and then, have that carry you forward. That actually sounds better to us. And, we could, try to go to San Francisco, or we could try to come to Denver, and Denver is a lot cheaper, and that helped too. And, and so it's sort of that sort of thing where it's we've been out here kind of trying to find some of that community, try to help do our part to try to help, build a little bit of community. And, just kind of, I don't know, the environment out here works better. And there's a lot of people who love horror, which we didn't totally realize when we came out here. But we once we were out here for a couple of years, we were like, holy shit, Denver, we want to make horror films. And it seems like Denver is a place that loves horror. And there's a lot of other filmmakers, kind of in that same vein. So
no one takes horror seriously in LA. If you tell someone you're a horror filmmaker in LA, they're like, oh yeah, that's really smart because you can make a shitty film and sell it. And you can just make a shitty horror film and you can still sell it. And then you can go make the stuff you really want to make. And I would just be like, screw you. You're the reason why there's so many shitty horror films out there. I want to make a good horror film. I actually care about the genre. And out here, everyone actually loves it. So we have actually a better audience out here, I think.
yeah, and the thing too is, like, filmmakers, nobody sets out to make a bad film. They do it because they want to they want to express themselves. They want to create some kind of art and everything. And how it turns out and everything, I mean, that's totally subjective.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that you guys had that experience, but that brought you over out here, and you're able to share all your amazing works with us, with the Denver community, and yeah, you'll find a much bigger audience out there anyway. Plus, Denver's central. We're almost halfway, from coast to coast. I mean, we're a little off center, but we're pretty damn cool.
So cool. Like, I can say I was raised in a very snobby West Coast elitist family, but like Denver is amazing. It has, really challenged my upbringing.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Well, Michael, you go into school here. You can attest to that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Now, that was part of how I, convinced her to come out here, was just showing her how fucking cool the city was. And, hey, right. You get a good sandwich and hit a good art museum, and, there's fun people out here, all sorts of good shit. So,
Yeah. A little bit.
Full bar and still breathe.
Yeah, that's true too. Nice. I was able to catch your stop motion short film series. Let's Get Weird, and oh my god, that is the title doesn't lie. I love that. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know what you're gonna get. So can you tell us a little bit about that project and what it took, because it's also stop motion, which is that's such a labor of love. If you're gonna do anything in film, that is it.
Yeah. How did we settle on that?
Well, I think that part of what made that happen was so we were gearing up to shoot the next Reliquary, our next live action short, and the pandemic hit, and the universe was turned upside down, and we were like, okay, well, we're stuck at home. What can we fucking do here? So we had I think a talk about doing an animated thing before, but once we were kind of locked down, we were like, all right, well, fuck it, like we can't cast, we can't have people coming into it, whatever. So we'll do this thing, and they were just like, let's just make it as weird as we fucking can, and just lean into it, and just make these little 3-minute like bombs of like oddity that that's what came out. And we do it all. I mean, we animate it, we write it, direct it, edit it, animate it, we do the voices. It's 100% wolf love in every one of these episodes. So
and it's honestly just a series of our weird inside jokes that we just didn't know where else to put. And we're like, oh, this is the perfect way to kind of, we've been talking about all these random shorts that are just like our inside jokes brought to life. So as you can see, we have a very sick mind, I guess. But like, it was just like, it made it easy, kind of like, oh yeah, we could do the cow, like the milk episode, and we can do
the milk episode.
That's one of our favorites. Love the milk episode.
One of the upcoming episodes is one that is really close to my heart. It's the brother husbands episode. Kind of like Super Wives, but brother husbands.
Yep. Brother husbands. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the first episode just kind of like, oh, okay, this is going to be pretty gonzo, and then by the third episode with the dinosaur being milked, it's just like, all right, wow. I love it because it's both hilarious, but it also like completely takes you out of your comfort zone. And it's really I would find that it's kind of hard to do with little animated characters.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is great.
This guy, he does all the animation.
Oh wow!
And I don't know sometimes how he does it because, I mean, it's both of our ideas, but I kind of pounded out the scripts, and then I've done most of the art direction stuff. But the animation is all him, and we do our animatics first, so you can time it out, and then I just give him like a list of frames and like little moments that he has to like hit and lines that he has to hit, and he'll bring me back these shots and I drop it in with the audio and I'm like, oh my god, why is that so perfect? It looks like and their faces don't move, but he'll get the gestures so amazing. It like blows my mind.
It's kind of a fun thing of like, because they are kind of like rudimentary characters, and that we don't animate the faces, we don't animate the mouth, so it's like everything has to be conveyed through like body language and stuff, and expressiveness in that way, and it's a fun challenge to try to do that.
Good, you're good.
That's cool. Yeah. Speaking of which, your cast and set are right behind you, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Here we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's so cool.
This is, I can detach. This is Nikki.
Oh yeah. I love the costuming on them too. When you're like building your models there, is it just like a wireframe and then like putty, or how are you guys doing that?
Yeah, we used Sculpey.
Yeah.
With wireframes.
Yeah, wire armature with Sculpey on top, and then we just paint them, and she does these awesome costumes, and
nice.
I did kind of screw up though, because the armature is it's pretty weak and it's been breaking constantly. So it's when you look under their costumes, there's a lot of fixes.
Yeah.
At this point, we've had like one character break per episode so far.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The next three.
Nikki's a little taller now than she used to be.
Oh.
Because we had to fix her spine.
Oh dear.
But she's okay.
Yeah, at least she's back to being connected. Paralysis sucks, right?
Just fine.
Yeah. Man, that's so cool, and it's such a tough, difficult medium. Michael, when you're sitting there animating, like, how many like frames per second are you able to do you have to animate?
So we do what do I do, like
24 frames per second.
Yeah, 24 frames per second is what we're shooting it at, and I'm shooting in like 3 or 4 frame takes. So it's still fairly rough. It's not super refined, but
or like each
shot's like
3 frames.
Yeah, 3 frames.
And yes, we have to make this whole like list thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He taught me this is his method, and it works.
Yeah, that's so cool. So, man, how long does it take you to then produce like one episode? It seems like months at least.
Fucking forever. Yeah, I mean it's probably a couple months when we're in a good rhythm. And when we were the first 3 episodes we did on a cell phone, and part of why we've been taking this break that we've had is because we were like, okay, let's fucking get Dragon Frame. Let's get a camera that actually can do it right, so we can actually make this a little bit easier. So I'm not just having to stare at my fucking cell phone and be like, is there a reflection in there? I can't fucking tell. So, hopefully the next set will be, even better, and they will definitely look better.
Sometimes the cell phone would randomly re-white balance one shot, so there'd be like suddenly it turns pink and then goes back and like, oh, we have to redo that whole take now.
Yeah.
So
ouch.
it'll be better now.
Oh dear. Oh man. Yeah, and you guys have 3 more episodes, right? That you're producing on that series.
We do. Yeah, we've got 3 episodes more written, and then we definitely want to get back into live action stuff. We still got to get back to the Prairie, and she's got a feature script that we're trying to figure out how to get that done too. So,
nice.
but we love this so much. Like, I think we're always going to try to do a little something with these characters at some point.
They've become so alive for us. We like talk about them all the time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you guys have a new endeavor right now. It's called Weird Theater, where you guys are doing film curation. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it's an open screen. I know I talk a lot. He's kind of like my silent Bob. Don't worry about it. So it's a open screen night. So basically, if you have a film or a segment of a film, 15 minutes or less, if you bring it on a flash drive to us, we will screen it. First come, first screened. And it can be anything. And then afterwards, you have to get up front and you have to explain yourself. Why in the world did we have to watch this abomination of film? Or thank you for showing us this abomination of film. There's, it's a lot of fun. There's a lively roast / group therapy session that happens after every film. And we get through as many as we can between 9:30 and midnight.
It really is like, to say it's like film curation is like not even, totally it, because it's like it's not like a film festival type thing where we're selecting what we want. Like, people show up and whatever they've got on their flash drive, we just hope it won't get us in trouble. And we put it up on the big screen and we're like, it has to be original content. Yeah. That's kind of our only, it has to be under 15 minutes. Beyond that, like, you can kind of show whatever. And it's, so we've had super legit films, like really legit, like, holy shit, this is a real legit film. We've had people who were watching it and decided halfway through, hey, I've got this like weird animated dick animation that I did on my brother's Nintendo DS 10 years ago. Can I show that?
We're like, yes,
throw it up.
Can, please.
It's a weird little dick animation. We've had what's that train game? Like, someone did like this.
Oh, it was like Sim.
It was like the Sim train builder.
Yeah.
Or no, it was Roller Coaster.
Wow. Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's a roller coaster. This dude did this, like, he created this like weird short out of clips of like Roller Coaster Tycoon that he had put together and then kind of like narrated, and
he had like caption. It was weird.
It was weird, but it was great. It was, I don't know, that might have been the first thing we screened, but it was amazing.
That was the first thing, our very first weird theater.
Oh my god.
We're just like, oh shit, we're off to the races. This is legit. This is happening.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Where can people find Weird Theater? Is it like a monthly showcase, or is it quarterly, or
it's monthly? It's every third Saturday. We do it at Memento Mori Gallery, which is owned by a good friend of mine, a fellow RimCAD graduate, Jesse Newman, who's also like a really awesome tattoo artist.
Yeah, we do art gallery in the front, tattoo studio in the back. I'm actually the manager there also.
Oh wow,
so
cool.
I help curate the art shows, but then we do our third Saturday Weird Theater there as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Yeah, before we went on, I talked about like film curation and presentation and everything like that. It's such a tough medium to really connect with an audience, like an in-person audience. Like so much of like film rentals for theaters is just outrageous in terms of cost. And ticketing, you're not going to make your investment back so often. There's only like a handful of theaters that really kind of cater to to actual filmmakers, especially when you're doing such an expensive medium and you got no budget,
That's true.
So yeah, it's I find that it's really impressive. Getting some venue, DIY spaces, warehouses. Yeah, I've seen film festivals in junkyards. Those are fun. Usually, you got to get a tetanus shot afterwards, but it's worth it.
That's honestly, I so agree with you, and that's part of what we feel really fortunate that like Jesse's open up his art space, and Memento Mori Gallery is a great environment because it's kind of this like DIY kind of lowbrow art gallery, just in terms of like the shows and the content that he wants to put up and he wants to cultivate, and he also has an interest in sort of cultivating a community like we do. So it's kind of a great marriage that we have this space on West Colfax that we can kind of use, and it keeps us kind of as like Weird Theater's kind of this fun sort of underground vibe that we're trying to build up, and it makes it really accessible, and also like then you get to come out and you can mill around when we take a break, and you can see all this artwork and stuff, and there's a great just sort of synergy there.
Nice, man. Yeah, that's really cool. That's definitely something that's so needed. I mean, that sense of like displacement amongst creatives and the film community, and Denver's got an amazing pool of talent and film scene, but it still just seems we seem so separated when we don't have to be.
No, we don't. Yeah, that's, probably the main reason we wanted to do Weird Theater, outside of just it's fun to share your weird old or new stuff with your like-minded people, but just because we want to build community. We want to meet other like-minded filmmakers and bring their work to light, like elevate. Maybe someone thinks it's too weird or something, but we want to elevate that stuff and make a sort of communal atmosphere. It's like when you come to a Weird Theater, it's very interactive. You're not just sitting there and like idly watching films. You're gonna heckle, you're gonna get involved in every film that gets watched.
We had someone last one who was like, he's an artist and he had an animation, and he reached out to us and was like, is this for like legit filmmakers, or can any average Joe show up and screen something? We were like, please come on out, show something. And then what he showed was like so good. Like the guys, he says he's not an animator, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is really good animation. This is an incredibly like beautiful film. And now we're gonna kind of poke fun at it a little bit, but also like we're gonna poke fun at the fact that you were acting like this wasn't that good, and it turned out to be really good. And
that was the best way I could roast him, was just like, actually,
humble brag,
like, oh, this isn't legitimate, like this is amazing. Screw you.
That's awesome. Well, one way a filmmaker could look at that too, getting roasted, is like, hey, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve. Guess what? We're gonna thicken up that skin, buddy. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you ready for the big league. A little Eye of the Tiger bullshit. Yeah.
We've been at enough film festivals that like we've had the like, oh, on that shot at 5:47, what lens were you using at that point? It's like, oh, fucking no, man. Like,
what were you thinking when you wrote the script?
We're like, this is let's talk about our feelings when we watch stuff. I'd rather do that than some of the perfunctory stuff you get into a lot of festivals. So
that stuff can be so frustrating and infuriating. And film as a form of expression is such a tough thing to get to the finish line anyway. I mean, sometimes there's so many different disciplines and talents and skills that need to be thrown at it in order to get it there. So asking, ridiculous, silly little questions and stuff can be kind of, deflating sometimes. So yeah, keep it lively. And, yeah. And, well, you being a student of RimCAD too, those critique sessions, oh my God, those were delightfully brutal.
Yeah.
But you learned how to articulate and how to converse and how to champion your work too, because nobody else is going to do it.
I think that's honestly, that's like a really interesting point to make, because both of us come out of an art school background, and both of us, went through those kind of critiques, right? And I would say what we do at Weird Theater is like never as harsh or mean as what we did at some of those. I hope no one at Weird Theater ever feels the disappointment that I felt showing my animations to some of my professors back at RimCAD. But but that's one of the things when we went into film school, we realized kind of like, a lot of people haven't had this kind of experience to have their work thrown up and really kind of, dissect it and really talk about, why are you doing this and what is the point of it and where are you coming from?
Yeah.
Not the technical shit. That's easy to talk about, but the real heart of it, and that is, I think, part of what we want to do here. We want to keep it, Weird Theater's about keeping it real and keeping it fun, but keeping it real and earnest. That's really what we're going for.
Nice. That's awesome. So you've got that. You've got a couple projects that you're working on. You've got the 3 stop motion animated episodes that still need to be produced. There's no shortage of creative outlets for you guys. What can we expect from you in the near future?
Definitely.
We've got so our stop motion stuff is coming up next. We're editing a project for another filmmaker, so we're kind of doing that too. We both have background editors, so that's kind of a natural thing for us to do, to pick up kind of editing, that sort of thing. We still enjoy that. But once we get past the stop motion stuff, then it's back into live action. We got more episodes of Query that we got to do.
Nice.
Like I said, she's got a feature script that's fucking awesome, and so we would love to make that our first kind of feature to come out of our little production hub. So hoping to work on that, and then we're just trying to keep making stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. I can't wait to see more of the stuff that you guys are putting out and putting out there into the world, because God, it's so much fun. The stop motion is gonzo, and there needs to be more of it, definitely, because it's so cool, and very much my hat's off to you. That's such a difficult medium, but man. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. For Weird Theater, where can people go to submit? Do they sign up? Do they just show up?
Yeah, so you just show up. You can buy your ticket in advance on Eventbrite or at the door. You save $1 if you buy it in advance, because the Eventbrite, all fees are included, so it's actually $10 if you get it through Eventbrite. And yeah, it's first come first screen. So just the doors open at 9. We start screening at 9:30. So basically, as soon as you come in, whatever order you come in, that's the order we screen in, and it's a fun time.
Excellent.
If you follow us on Instagram, that's where we're the most active.
Yes.
LUV, that's what you got on your lower screen.
Okay, cool.
Wolf Films, and that's where we post all of our stuff. So that's where we get the most updates going. follow us on there. Memento Mori Galleries kind of become a hub. We've got a stand up there. We're members of the gallery. So we've usually got some artwork on display, and we have a stand there where we sell stuff like our beard koozies. There we go.
Cool.
And we also have copies of. Yeah. You can buy our
we actually make bootleg DVDs of our shorts, and you can't find them on YouTube anymore. You can get a digital copy, buy a DVD. Let's Get Weird is the only thing that's just on our YouTube right now, and that's going to go away eventually. And all of our other shorts, you actually just have to buy through the gallery right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Wow. That's so cool. Michael and Lindsay, thanks so much for coming on the show and talking about all the cool things that you guys are doing and sharing your films and your art and everything. It's been a real.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be able to chat with you a little bit more instead of after screenings.
This is much better.
Yeah, most definitely. No, appreciate it. So for everybody out there, make sure to go to wolflovefilms.com, follow them on Instagram, and Weird Theater also on Instagram, and support independent filmmakers making cool shit in Colorado. None of that LA shit, unless you get unless you get money going out there, then hey, we understand. You got to make a living.
Take that money and bring it back here to make things back here. That's the goal.
Yeah. Bring stuff back here. We've got friends saying hello. Hello, Faith. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks so much, guys. Stick around for a few minutes while we sign off. But again, thanks for being so generous with your time.
Absolutely.
Happy to.
Cool. And of course, to our sponsors, to Mutiny Information Cafe. If you're going to start a revolution, make sure you're caffeinated. And our friends at Hellfire Entertainment, thanks for rebroadcasting this on your social media. To Groovy TV, and of course to Angela Joseph Productions. To Angela over there, thanks so much. And to Amanda Armstrong and Stephen Santa Cruz, thanks for putting up with my shit. And to everybody out there, thanks so much, guys. Stay spooky, everybody. Be good, be kind, help each other out during tough times. I will see you next time.